let's get to Jadon Sancho as well, because it feels like from watching the vlogs and going through social media, a lot of people aren't happy with Jadon Sancho and feel he should have said sorry already and it might be too late. How did we get here? It's been 3 weeks since Ten Hag dropped Jadon Sancho from the matchday squad against Arsenal. Ten Hag told the media that he wasn't at the level in training to get into the squad. Jadon then jumped back on Twitter X and said he'd been training well that week and wasn't going to be a scapegoat anymore. So showdown talks happened after the international break. Jadon then removed the pinned tweet from social media, but apparently hasn't apologised to Erik Ten Hag. Therefore, he's on his own personal plan. He's with the academy and he's eaten with the academy as well. Now, it turns out today it's believed that his Manchester United colleagues are saying, look, it's time now. Just say sorry and let's move on. Only thing is anything going to happen from now on from Jadon Sancho? Because we believe in the past he has been late for Borussia Dortmund. He held up a flight one time after he forgot his passport. It's rumoured that he likes to stay up late playing video games and playing FIFA. Apparently he is still doing that now, and it's reported that he's still turning up late to training and he sleeps in a lot. He said he's got a sleeping problem. I think we all do. You just can't get up in the morning.
It's hard to get up for the early show, isn't it, Natalie?
Well, Jadon would be fine at that. He's up at that time playing on his video games.
Because he hasn't gone to bed. That's the problem.
Put FIFA down at 4:55 and come to work.
The only thing, like the money that he came in for, the expectation was so high on Jadon Sancho coming in from Borussia Dortmund. It's believed that Erik Ten Hag and Manchester United supported him while he was dealing with the physical and mental issues. He's not now apologising. He's the highest paid player at Manchester United. Is it time now that he just leaves? And is it sounding like he wants out of Manchester United?
This is what we spoke about off air, me and Natalie. We don't know that Jadon Sancho wants to be at Manchester United.
Doesn't sound
like
he's
not been given a chance this season. Anthony was playing a lot and not performing. He wasn't getting a chance. So for all we know, we're thinking, say sorry. Maybe he doesn't want to say sorry. Maybe he doesn't like the manager, doesn't like how he's been treated. He feels like he's been training fine, and maybe he can't wait to January to leave. We don't know.
Two sides to a story,
exactly.
Right? And we would like to know all. I would love to be in a fly in the wall in that conversation for sure.
Should be filmed, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Why don't I do it here? Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho,
Showdown
come in,
talks.
do it on the breakfast show. Say sorry on the breakfast show.
Just go 3, 2, 1. Sorry, there you go. That's
are you
all we
sorry?
needed.
Are you sorry, Ten Hag, for saying that Jadon Sancho has not been trained properly?
United fans want to have their say on this one, and Chris has rung up to do that this morning. Morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning.
Good morning to you guys. Morning, Gabby.
Great to have you with us. So, where are you standing on this sort of? Well, what side of the fence are you on? Shall we say?
Well, I actually think that this particular topic is a bit bigger than what we're just reading into initially, because if we look at since Ten Hag has been in the helm at Old Trafford, he's trying to install heavier discipline. We've seen what happened with Marcus Rashford and arriving training late, and since Fergie's left, unfortunately, obviously, our trophy cabinet is not as good as when he was at the helm, and we really need to be getting things back on track. And what I think Ten Hag is trying to do here is basically saying, look, let's just focus on the football. We've got to deliver to the fans and get Man United where they need to be. Playing for Manchester United is, not a right, it's a privilege. And we've got to stop all this messing around on social media and various platforms and speaking out like that, and just focus and deliver something on the pitch. You're paid astronomical amount of money, and go ahead and bring something to the team. And I think that's like what he's trying to install. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily you can, like, who did you allude to earlier on your show? One of your pundits or guys said that you can be too harsh on the player and it can damage their future. So I do get that side of it as well. There is a boundary, there is a level. But currently I think that, he's done the right thing and saying, you can't be doing that. Nip it in the bud, say sorry, move on. That's what the club needs. That's where I stand with it.
Good points, Chris. Thank you for your call. I mean, Chris is right in some ways, in the sense as well that when Erik Ten Hag sort of called him out on why he wasn't in the squad for the Arsenal game, wasn't it? And then we then saw the preceding social media statement from Sancho. If that was you, Gabby, now I'm not saying you would have put a statement out, but if you're hearing the manager publicly criticise you, would your next thought be either I'm going to go in on track because it's the international break, not long
100%.
after? Would you go into training, or would you jet away to New York like Sancho did?
First of all, I wouldn't tweet. I would go in the next day we were in, not even ask, knock on his office and have it out with him there if I thought I trained properly. No, I wouldn't go to New York. Well, I probably would have because I was a little rebel. But if I'm Jadon Sancho, I wouldn't have gone to New York. He doesn't look great. He doesn't look great.
You probably wouldn't have.
He should play the game of like, you know what? I'm going to train harder now. I'm gonna just post on my social media me working, me training, me doing extra runs, me doing extra training like the players do. Not going to New York for what was it, fashion week? It doesn't
just doesn't
back
look
up his
right,
argument,
does it?
If he was training hard and everyone would be like, maybe like, you know, we can believe him. But when you're going to New York like he did, it doesn't look good at all.
No, and look, if you go back to when Arsenal took on Nottingham Forest, if you remember, Eddie Nketiah played in that game, and Mikel Arteta spoke about it by saying the reason he included Nketiah in the starting 11 was because how well he had trained in the week up to that game. Yeah. And that's what Jadon Sancho needs to do. I know now he's not even able to do that right now in front of Erik ten Hag, but that's what he needed to do.
Yeah.
He needed to show him in training. Even if he thinks he's 100% committed to training, he needed to go even harder and, really...
I think what he should have done, he should have waited till the next day they're in, go to the manager's office, and sometimes throw your cards on the table. You know, you both have it out, it can get heated, and then it might have been, you know what, he really wants to play. And then you have a good international break, training hard, doing extra, and then you get back into the team. That's what he should have done. I agree, he should not have tweeted. I don't think he should be tweeting about a manager, of course not. But maybe sometimes his frustrations have got the better of him. We talk about Jermaine Jenas as well. Sometimes he does on social media, but he shouldn't have went to New York. He should have stayed and trained.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.